So it looks to me like XRP could be right on the edge of a potential breakout, so I want to discuss everything that I'm seeing with you guys right now and get you fully up to date as quickly as possible. If you appreciate these videos, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, let's jump straight into it. So XRP right now in this wedge pattern. Last time we had a wedge pattern similar to this on a bigger scale, we broke out 80%, and that's exactly where I bought right there on these arrows at the lower end of this wedge. And that's the same reason why I recently opened a new XRP position at $2.81 right at the bottom of this wedge right here. But the way XRP is looking right now is it is glued to this resistance. You can see we've been trying to break it for a while, and in my opinion, the more times we try and break something, the more likely it is to break out. Now, the more people who also drop out, close their positions and all of that, and even open short positions, makes it more likely that we'll break to the upside. Now, in my opinion, I think XRP is actually being held back by the likes of Bitcoin and some macro things that are happening with Bitcoin right now sitting at 112,700. We've recently met new resistance at 113,400, and we've put in new support here about 108,700, retesting previous resistance here, flipping it into a support, and then breaking back above what was support before, which looks pretty bullish in my eyes. You can see that we may be retesting this region once again, but if we can hold it, I think that's going to be bullish. Now, we've just had some pretty bullish macro news here with the US initial jobless claims coming in at 229,000, which is below the expectations, meaning Q2 GDP grew 3.3% over the 3% that was expected. Now, this is good news and could spur on the overall markets. We can see so far the S&P 500, however, is actually down 0.2%, and the Nasdaq is down 0.16%. This is in line with what Ted Pillows had to say, where he says this looks more like a short position closing down rather than a strong spot demand. Pre-markets are barely up. They're actually down now, which means overall momentum is still not strong. So what's he referring to? Well, I think he's referring to the leverage in the market. So Bitcoin short positions, as they are very high, are pushing the market upwards, right? Because they're forcing shorts to close as the price moves up. Now, when we get a real breakout for Bitcoin, I do think that's going to unleash XRP and the rest of the market as we're getting ever closer to an altcoin season. I have left my trades open. Right now, I have 3 XRP positions open. One here with my low leverage strategy, one here with my XRP as collateral strategy, and one here as a high leverage or a higher leverage XRP long position, because I think XRP is going to break out. However, I could be completely wrong, guys, so don't blindly follow me. Now, we do have some other interesting things, like US Commerce Secretary Cantor Fitzgerald just bought $120 million worth of Bitcoin exposure, which is absolutely huge. And we have a potential big move for the Solana Bitcoin chart. So could Solana be breaking out very soon along with the rest of the altcoins? That's what I think is probably going to happen, but extreme volatility is ahead, because the more people that come into the market, the more money there is to be made for the manipulators. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.